DeVonta Smith could have left Alabama for the 2020 NFL Draft last year. He was projected to be a late first, early second round pick. Instead, he decided to return to Alabama due to believing he had unfinished business. Man, has it paid off. He is a projected top 5 pick in this year's NFL Draft and is in Heisman contention. But who is DeVonta Smith? In the Who Is series, we go through the backstories of up-and-coming collegiate and pro athletes. If you enjoyed these videos, leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If there's a player you want to see in future videos, comment it below. DeVonta Smith was born on November 14, 1998, and grew up in Amite, Louisiana. Smith's hometown was only about 4,000 people, and as a result, relationships ran deep. Smith has only let one person cut his hair his whole life. Vincent Sanders, who worked out of his aging barbershop. The barbershop was his father George's shop and contained 3 swivel chairs in a studio apartment-sized shop. You may be sitting at home asking, why am I talking so much about a barbershop? Well, Vincent Sanders has many connections when it comes to the college football recruiting world, and he uses those connections to help young, sometimes underprivileged athletes. He takes them to camps to show big-name coaches their talents and mentors the young athletes. Smith built his reputation at Butlertown Park as the scrawny kid who just wouldn't go away. No matter how much bigger the other boys were, he would compete with them. Smith's mother Christina told Smith he needed to be home before the streetlights turned on when he was a kid due to Amite having trouble spots throughout, described by Sanders. Smith's uncle, whose nickname was Fat, worked with Smith on his catching, telling him he would not stop throwing the ball hard until Smith started catching it with his hands instead of his chest. Vincent Sanders runs an organization called Beast One Athletics that promotes, supports, and markets young athletes in the area with a catch. You need to have above a 3.0 GPA. Sanders uses his barbershop revenue to fund his organization and does not charge families anything. Sanders took Smith and others on a week-long trip that took the athletes to camps at Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, and Tennessee. Smith performed well and had the camp and coaches buzzing at Alabama, but the coaches told him he was too small at 140 pounds. Smith was mad and worked to add a few pounds, and as a result, Alabama offered him. Smith attended Amite High School, where he had led his team to a 3A state championship. He was named the MVP of the game in 2016, as well as earning all-district and all-state honors. Smith also won the MVP at the Nike Open New Orleans Regional and participated in the U.S. Army All-American game. Other than wide receiver, Smith also played cornerback and returned kicks, and as a result, he played roughly 90 of the 100 snaps a game, according to Sports Illustrated. According to 24/7 Sports Composite Score, DeVonta Smith was a 4-star recruit who was the 9th-rated receiver, 2nd best player in Louisiana, and 62nd best player nationally. Smith had 23 different offers from the likes of Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Miami, and Oklahoma. He originally committed to Georgia, but decommitted a few months later. Many believed it was due to the staff turnover at Georgia, but Smith did not give a reason why. To the dismay of LSU fans, Smith committed to Alabama. Many in Louisiana believe Vincent Sanders is the enemy due to a belief he guides players away from LSU. DeVonta Smith told Sports Illustrated they call him a Bama handler, that he gets people to come here. At the end of the day, he always told us, go where you want to go. He's got one kid at Memphis and another at Tulane. Along with those schools, Sanders also has multiple players at LSU. When Smith first got to Alabama, he was a part of a stacked wide receivers room. He came in with both Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs, both of whom went in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, and junior Calvin Ridley, who was already there, who went in the first round of the 2018 Draft. Smith only had 8 catches for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns his freshman year, but 2 of the 8 catches were crucial for Alabama. His first crucial touchdown catch was a game-winning catch against Mississippi State. The second came on a much larger stage. Smith made the game-winning touchdown catch, a 41-yard reception against Georgia to win the national championship for Alabama in double overtime. The problem was, neither his mother nor his grandparents saw the play. His mother was turned around talking to someone at the stadium, and his grandparents turned off the game after the missed field goal to end regulation and tried to quickly turn the TV on to see the play. His mother said with embarrassment, "I had to watch the Jumbotron replay." Amite held a parade for Smith and fellow teammate and resident from the area, Shyheim Carter, after the championship game. In 2018, Smith had 42 receptions for 693 yards and 6 touchdowns. His best game of the season came against Oklahoma in the college football playoff semifinals, where he had 6 receptions for 104 yards and 1 touchdown. Unfortunately, Alabama got blown out by Clemson in the championship game 44-16. In 2019, Smith had big games against Ole Miss and LSU. In the Ole Miss game, he recorded 11 catches for 274 yards and 5 touchdowns in a 59-31 win. Against his home state LSU Tigers, he recorded 7 receptions for 213 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the Crimson Tide would fall to Joe Burrow and the Tigers 46-41. Smith finished the season with 68 receptions for 1,256 yards and 14 touchdowns. He led the team in yards and touchdowns and finished second in receptions behind Jerry Jeudy. Alabama finished the season 11-2 and beat Michigan in the Citrus Bowl. After the 2019 season, some believe Smith may leave for the NFL draft, some experts believing he could go as high as late in the first round. Smith said, "There's a lot I have left to accomplish as a player and as a student, and I feel that my time is not up at Alabama. I have unfinished business to take care of, and the only way to do that is to stay one more year. After praying and talking with my family and Coach Saban, I've decided that I will return for my senior season. Roll Tide." Returning to Alabama seems to have paid off. Smith had back-to-back games with more than 160 receiving yards. He had 164 receiving yards and a touchdown on 13 receptions against Ole Miss, and 11 receptions for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns against Georgia. After Jalen Waddle, Alabama's other star wide receiver, went down with a season-ending injury, Smith continued to explode. Since the Tennessee game, Smith has found the end zone in every game. He had 203 yards and 4 touchdowns against Mississippi State, 2 touchdowns and 144 yards against Kentucky, 2 touchdowns and 171 yards against Auburn, 3 touchdowns and 231 yards against his hometown LSU, and a punt return touchdown against Arkansas. Smith has played extremely well, and with his video game-esque numbers, he is sitting in Heisman contention. If Smith is able to win the award over his fellow teammate and quarterback Mac Jones, the two believed to be the frontrunners according to FanDuel, he would become the first wide receiver to win the award since Desmond Howard in 1991. Smith's draft ranking is also looking pretty good, as he is ranked as the 4th best player and the best wide receiver in the 2021 NFL Draft. DeVonta Smith and Alabama take on number 7 Florida in the SEC Championship game on Saturday. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos in the Who Is series. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe, along with remembering to always embrace the grind.